Yes.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And we're talking to,
Dave Primer.
all right, and
Mitch Dawson-Brock.
Hey,
Dave
guys.
and Mitch. How are you guys?
Good.
Very good. And you guys are here to talk about what today?
Athletic training.
Very important.
It is very important.
Especially these days.
Yes.
What do you guys do? I mean, as far as the rehabilitation and wellness for the athletic training at HSHS?
So primarily for us, we're kind of the first line of defense for an athlete. So if an athlete goes down, whether it be pulled muscle or whether it be an emergency situation, we're usually the first ones on the scene there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we kind of decide, okay, do we need to call the EMTs, or is this something we can take care of, and maybe their parents can bring them to the emergency room, or can we set up a doctor's appointment for the next day, something along those lines.
Now, you guys, I mean, since you guys aren't at like the games and then you go down onto the court or the field or whatever. I mean, you guys are at the complex and they're the first ones that see you guys when they come in.
Pre-COVID, we were at the games. Athletic
Pre-COVID.
trainers, like when you're on TV, or you watch a football game or something on TV, you see the guy that runs on the field. That's an athletic trainer usually.
Yep.
Okay.
At the Hearts games, we've had it lots of times.
Yeah.
The football field, the basketball games where a guy goes down.
Soccer field probably?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
So the
Okay.
first one that runs on there is usually an athletic trainer.
Okay.
And then we're the liaison between the coaches, giving them information, the administration, doctors, therapists, stuff like that, parents. A lot of times the first people that the parents talk to are the athletic trainers.
Now, you said pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So what happens nowadays?
We're starting to get pulled back up with sports, thank goodness, are starting back up. So we're starting to get back into the schools a little bit and helping out the schools. The ones, St. Anthony, Diedrich, St. Elmo a little bit. We are also in the therapy clinic over at the Wellness Center, so they can come over there, and if they do have an injury, they could come over there and see Mitch or I to at least get evaluated, and we can point them in the right direction.
Now,
Okay.
what are the advantages of having an athletic trainer at the school?
You have somebody on the spot that's has the medical knowledge of what to do with an injury. One of the big things the last however many years has been concussions.
Right.
And there wasn't a lot of information out about concussions, and now there's a tremendous amount of information out there. But your athletic trainer's there to help you out. A concussion's kind of a scary injury because they're all different. There's really no concussion that's the same. It takes the pressure off the coaches. That way the coaches don't have to deal with it. A lot of them don't want to mess with it. They don't want that pressure. So you have a person there that's trained medically, has the schooling to take control and take control of the situation, keep everybody involved, and you have the interest of the athlete at heart. So,
Well, you mentioned, the different, before COVID, you did things and kind of changed things, and now maybe it's going back. Yeah, I just thought of this. What did they do before athletic trainers were there? Years ago.
rub
If
some
the-
dirt on it.
Yeah, as I was going to say, like call up into the stands. Is there a doctor in the house or something? I don't know.
You saw stars and you got
Yeah.
back on the floor and you kept playing.
Things-
Well, and what's really unfortunate about that is that when you're being half serious here, because a lot of guys did that, but
Yeah.
concussion protocols are so important now because a lot of guys would just get back up and go on. Patrick Mahomes is a very good example of that here in the playoff game before the Super Bowl. He got hit pretty hard
Yes.
and was taken out of the game. And a long, long time ago, he probably would have stayed in, and who knows what would have happened way down the road to his brain.
Yes. I mean,
So-
it's just something that, technology has improved with cell phones and everything else, so is medical information and concussions. So we're trying to get better with it and trying to keep the parents, the coaches, the general public informed.
Now, you mentioned a little bit earlier about the training and such. I mean, what kind of training goes into being an athletic trainer?
So before it was a bachelor's degree, you get a bachelor's degree in athletic training, but now it is a master's degree, so it's an extra 2 years of school.
Okay.
While you're in school, you do clinical rotations with whatever school you're at in a hospital setting, multiple different settings. You do clinical rotations to kind of understand what you're doing. And then you do have to pass a boarder certification exam, which is a national exam to become a certified athletic trainer. And then depending on state, I think most states required state licensure to practice athletic training.
And you guys are like, yay, another 2 years of school.
Luckily, we don't have
It's
to
a
do
good
the
thing I'm
extra
done.
Yeah, done at this point, yeah.
Very good.
But, if somebody does have an injury, how, on the court, on the field, how do you guys incorporate that with the rehab department there to kind of mesh it all together?
Well, like I said, we're the first ones on the spot, so we'll hopefully make a determination of, does this need to be seen elsewhere? Or is it something like when Mitch is at St. Anthony, he has a training room there. He can work on the kids there. They can come and see him at the end of the day or before school when he's there before practice and do some things. If it's something that needs extra attention, needs to see a doctor, we have access to our orthopedic doctors at HSHS, Dr.
Okay.
Urchin Powell, where we can get them in and be seen. And also we have access to our therapy clinic over at the Workman Center, and we got great therapists over there that can help us out. And they have a little more access just to do a little more some in-depth stuff. I know they've talked about dry needling and A-stem and stuff here on the station. So they have that access to be able to do that in the clinic. So if that's something that we would think would help them, we can get them in there and have them seen.
Now, what kind of access does an athlete have to the trainers? I mean, is it just during school hours, or, say that they, I don't know. I mean, if you guys are back, because you mentioned about pre-COVID, you guys were always at the games, but say you're not. I mean, what goes on there?
So I make it to most of the home games at St. Anthony still.
Okay.
Just getting back into it. But if we're not there, or if they need to be seen before that, they can come see us at the Workman's Sports Complex, the therapy clinic there. They can just call ahead at 217-347-1243, and they can ask for either me or Dave, and we can take them back and take a look at them.
I have to ask this because there's a lot of sports out there. Is there ever a sport you're thinking of that you'd like to, think it might be applicable to have an athletic trainer there? And I'm thinking particularly Scholar Bowl.
I thought he was going to say chess.
Well,
I would be out.
You never know.
How
never
can
know.
you hurt yourself at Scholar Bowl
It's
besides
mental anguish.
a brain freeze? I mean, just asking.
Severe headache. I like that.
They need conditioning.
Banging your head on the desk could lead to concussion protocols. Yeah.
But I think it eases a lot of people's minds knowing you guys are there. I mean, I'm not a participant, of course, but I'm in the stands, not these days, but before that. And you're like, oh, you see an injury. It just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable knowing there's a qualified person there that is going to have some good ideas on what to do next. Should this person rest? Should they go somewhere? Should they walk it off in some sort? Because you can't always trust maybe the athlete's opinion.
But the parents are in the stands, and that's everybody's little boy or little girl out there, no matter if they're 18 or 8, or for that matter, professional sports at 36, 25. Mom's in the stands, and she's worried, and you're able to give them a little bit of sense of just, it's going to be okay. This is what we think it is, and this is the steps we got to take to get him back on the field or on the court, and it just eases their mind a little bit.
Yep, good deal.
Very good. So if somebody is, wanting to get started with this, or is there a way for people to contact you guys, or does it work like that?
Yeah, they can contact us at the clinic, the number that Mitch said, and the athletes at the schools that I'm at, the coaches always have my home phone number or my cell number.
I bet.
I've been doing it for about 25 or 26 years now, and you're available 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's
a commitment.
Yeah.
Very good.
And by the way, you just had a birthday. It was kind of a big one this past weekend as well, right, Dave?
I told you I've been working in this program for 25 years. So.
Giving it away right there.
I'm not going to give your age.
It was a big one.
Yes,
It's a
it
good
was.
one.
It
All
was a
right.
long one.
We're younger than he is.
Huh?
We're younger than he is.
I wish.
Tammy says we're younger than he is.
I totally wish. I'm not. I am not. I am not. Well,
Very good.
that is very helpful news. And I will have to say, as a mom of an athlete, I am so thankful that there are trainers there, because there have been so many times that whether it's a soccer field, football field, even a tennis court. I mean,
Yeah.
It's very scary not knowing what's going to happen. And it could be a sprained ankle to, like we mentioned earlier, a concussion, you don't even, maybe a broken arm. But it's very nice to know that, you guys are there to help.
Right on.
It's good to be there.
Yep.
Very good. All right. Guys, thanks so much for coming in. Dave Prummer, Mitch Dozenbrock, good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodness.
Glad to hear what you guys do, and a lot of parents are as well, including Tanya.